Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to EVE Online with Down to Earth Astronomy. In the last episode we found ourselves a home system for our new corporation, and today we're going to set up a little bit of passive income. That's the goal for today, and I want to do that through doing some PI, because the end goal for this whole thing is I want to start and set up my own production chain of fuel blocks. And fuel blocks, if we can just very quickly find a blueprint here, if we just look up fuel and look up blueprints, let's just take oxygen for instance here. So here we have the blueprint. Nope, okay, never mind. Let's try that again. That didn't go well. Oh, it opened the same window. It's weird. Close the market. So here we have it, and we can see here required materials. That all these are planetary materials. We need enriched uranium, oxygen, mechanical component, coolant, lots of coolant, and robotics. Now robotics is difficult because I think it's a tier 3, and these are all tier 2 apart from oxygen, which I believe is tier 1. And today's job is we're going to set up some PI to farm some coolant for us. Now this is going to, in the start, before we start the production, this is going to be just some passive income. And later on, it's going to be something that's going to be used in this production. Now, last time we already ensured that we had the right planets around us in the area, and today I'm going to set one up here. So first, we're going to have a quick look at the system. No, actually, before we have a look at the system, this is very nifty tool. I'll link it down below. But basically, you go in here, you can see, we can actually see it, oxygen. Right, here's tier 1, that's basic material, refined is coolant, and all mechanical parts is here, enriched uranium is here, and the robotics is out here. So you can see it's specialized, so it's a little bit more difficult to make, so we might have to buy that, because I don't believe you can make specialized on a single planet. But coolant, we can see here we're going to need water and electrolytes, which means we on the surface going to need aqueous liquids and ionic solutions, which is available on storm planets and gas planets. Some of them are available on other planets, but the old planet that has both of them is storm and gas. Very useful tool, love it. So we're going to set up on a storm planet so we can make ourselves a little bit of coolant. So the first thing we're going to do is going to open up the system information, and we're going to find ourselves a storm planet. We have one here, planet 5. And we're going to check the customs office before we set anything up, just to be sure that the tax is payable, 10%. It's very good. Then we're going to ensure that we have ourselves a storm command center. We are in space, we're in the system. So now we should be able to go to the planet storm here. And say view in planet mode. Here we go. Okay. So now would be a good time to talk about some of the skills you're going to need. We have a skill section here for planetary management. And I think the most important ones is command center upgrades. This allows you to make your command centers better. I'll show you that in a bit so you can have more modules. And eventually then planetary constellation, which increases the number of planets you can have on the character. The other ones are nice, but not need to have. I mean, these increase the how accurate you can be with your scanning and stuff like that. So definitely you should get them up. But it's not a recommendation. It's not a prerequisite in the start at least. Just get them up to a few levels. In trade, there's one I think is good customs code thingy here, because it reduces the tax from the office, the customs office, so we can get stuff off the planet a little bit quicker. Now, our first step should be to locate where on the planet we want to put our all our industry here. And we remembered that we needed ionic solution, so we can click on that, and we can adjust the slider to... What I normally like to do is I just want to adjust it until we have very few spots that shows up here as white. And the other one we needed was ionic solution, which is far less of. You can see it's a lot more abundant, or not abundant, it's a lot more rare, which also shows up when we actually highlight it here. There's a decent hotspot right here. And there's also two good areas here where we potentially could mine in both of them at the same time. So if we go for this one, let's see. And then we have a decent spot here. What if we go with that other hotspot over there? That was a good hotspot. It's not that big, which is my main concern, that it's fairly small. But how are we looking for... Okay, we still don't have anything. We have something decent here. But because this is fairly high, we would probably always go for the lowest one and use that, because that's going to be the one that's going to be most difficult for us to get. So either we could go here or go here. I think the best option... have a quick look around again. No, it's really the best. I think we're gonna go with this one and then put it in here so we can mine, or maybe put it down here actually, so we can mine this area as well. And how do we then look? Then we do have quite a while to travel if we want to get a real good area, so maybe we should go above. I don't know. It's not really that well spread out. Okay, I've decided to go with this hotspot here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see where we're gonna get our liquids. We're probably gonna get this from this area up here. Acquires liquids. So we're gonna go and put our command center somewhere in between. The exact point is not that important. I'm just gonna put it, let's say, round about here. Now, first thing we want to do, that was that skill I talked about. No, that's not how you do it. You click on it here. That is to upgrade it. So we want to upgrade this all the way up. You can see how much this increases our power output and our CPU output. It is going to cost us a little bit, but now we have a way, way better command center. Let's go ahead and submit that. So now we have a command center. Next up would be to go ahead and build. We can use this to send stuff off the planet, but you can see it have a very limited cargo hold. Can it still hold things, I think? Storage. You see, it can send... I'm not sure how much storage it is. Oh, here we go. It has 500 cubic meters of storage, which is okay. But we want to have this running for a longer time. We probably want to fit a launch pad somewhere. So I'm going to put a launch pad here. We can see this one has 10,000 cubic meters of storage. So definitely an upgrade. And then we're going to need a advanced industry facility here. So we're gonna put this as close to that one as we can. And this one we are going to produce coolant. So we're gonna go and find our coolant, which is here. We're gonna go install. Now we can now see that we have it produces 5 coolant, and we can see here that it has a cycle time of 1 hour. So it produces 5 coolant every hour, and it says it's not routed. So we need to route this somewhere. We're gonna go and we're gonna create a new link to that. We can now see we have this tiny link here in between, and now we can go to the production and we can create a route to the launch pad, and there you go. Now when we go to routes, we can see that this is outgoing. Of course it's not working because we can see here from these schematics that they're going to need we're gonna need those electrolytes and water, which we haven't produced yet. So let's set that up. Okay, next up we're gonna go for the other end. We're gonna put up our extractors. We're going to our extractor control units and get one of those. We can see this is the area it can actually mine. And I could put it all the way down here, but the further away we move from our center, the more we have to pay for in terms of power and CPU to make the link run. So I would probably put this somewhere around here. We could put it like all the way up here and then only mine this area, and hope that we can get enough. We can actually try that. You know what? We're gonna try that. We're gonna try and put it around here, and then hope we're gonna get enough. Maybe move it over. We can just get that spot over there as well. I'm gonna put it here. That's gonna be our extractor. Now, when we're extracting, the output from it is going to vary over time, and just like when you have any situation where you have a varying input but you want a constant outflow, on the other end you need to have a buffer. It's the same reason why a live stream is delayed when you're watching a live stream, because the frame rates, the frames produced by the streaming end or the streamer's end will vary, so therefore it's being buffered up so that you can get a constant and smooth experience at the other end. So we're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to do that by putting up a storage facility, which is essentially going to move as our buffer. So we're going to put that there. And that storage facility is then gonna put the materials into a basic industry facility. We're gonna put up there. And we are of course gonna put a link. Oh, that's not it. Here, create link. There you go. And we're gonna create a link to the other one right there. Now this was, what are we looking for here? We're looking at ionic solutions. So I believe that these should make, is it electrolytes? Yeah, so they take ionic solution and they produce electrolytes. So let's install that. And let's create a link to that facility. Because if we look at this one, we can see here that it needs 40 units of electrolytes every hour to keep this running constantly. This one will produce products 20 units of electrolytes every half hour. So one of these will be able to keep this fed with electrolytes. So if we create a route to route that over there, like so, we can now see that here routes that we now have 20 electrolytes incoming, and we have the coolant outgoing. So far so good. So let's set up our extraction here. Let's start by doing a no, that's not how you do it. Oh, we need to submit this, I think. There we go. Now we should be able to survey. Yes. And we're going to choose what we want to survey. We want to survey the ionic solution. We go, and we can now turn on our extractor heads. Now, we have a slider here that determines how long our extraction program should run. And you can see here, the longer it runs, the bigger the area is. But also, the longer the run is, the less you're going to get every hour. So it's always a balance between how much you're going to you're going to need versus how much you are willing to wait. In our case, we want this to be fairly passive. I'm going to set this for a week because I think I can log in every week and restart it. And you can see here at the beginning of the program, you're getting a fairly high amount every cycle. And as the program ends, it's going to become lower and lower and lower. But what's important here is if we look at the factory here, the factory needs 3,000 units of ionic solution every cycle. So they're going to need 6,000 every hour. So that's what we're going to aim for. We're going to aim for a... here we can see a program output per hour. We can see what our hourly output is. So we're going to aim for a 1 week program that's going to yield us around 6,000 units. So I'm just going to put up a extractor here, and we can then add another extractor head. Notice every time we add a new extractor head, we use more power. Now if these begin to overlap, we're going to get a diminishing return. So it's all about trying to figure out how much you can make them overlap. Because a little bit of overlap is okay, but not too much. So I normally go like very little. And it's just adding more and more extractor heads until we have our desired amount. And then we have it. Everything is now set up, and now we can just let that thing run for about a week, and then we can come back and oh, did I route this to? Yes, and then we can go back and we can then go and launch our material. I just really quick want to show you, because I've already set up quite a few as I was testing this out. Okay, I just wanted to quickly show you. Here I have another planet. In this one I was able to get the... this is on a plasma planet, and this one is producing enriched uranium. You can see I was able to get this a lot closer to each other, so I have very short links here. But it's exactly the same setup. As you can see, we have our extractors here that goes into our buffer. And we have already built up a decent buffer. Of course, because at the beginning of the program, it's going to be faster than it is at the end. We can see we actually approached the end, so I'll probably restart the program, which I'll show you in a bit. And you don't have to wait for the program to finish. Same thing over here. And we can see it's running along nicely here, and it is now, where is the storage here? It has produced quite a decent amount of enriched uranium. And from there on, it's just about launching it, then going to the customs offices and picking it up, and then you can do with it what you want. You sell it or put it into your production line. Now, I think when you restart the program, I have to stop the active program, and then we can see that the output has now dropped, so we might have to go and do a new scan of this. Try to see if we can. Do we have extra power for an extra mining head? We do. Then I might want to go and put up an extra miner head like that and install that program. And then over here, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm going to stop this program, and the output of this one is not good right now. So I think because we've been mining this area, we're not going to get a very good output. So we'll have to nurse this a little bit more, or move the miner heads. I don't want to move the miner heads around right now, but we might have to do that later. But at least, oh, then remember to click submit. There we go, program restarted. So at least that's pretty much it. Now this just has to sit and do its own thing. I have a few more planets that I need to set up, which I will do. And then in the next episode, we're probably going to go and have a look at some of the other materials and go out, which I believe is some of the ice materials. We have to go and look at some ice mining next to get this whole production line running. So I really hope you liked today's video. If you did, give a like down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'll see you guys in space.